UN set to hold emergency meeting today. France vows to recognize a Palestinian statehood at UN General Assembly. Good afternoon and Salam Malaysia Madani. This is World Today and I'm Atira Minuddin. The United Nations Security Council is set to hold an emergency meeting regarding the clashes along the Thailand-Cambodia border. The closed-door meeting requested by Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet will take place at 3 p.m. local time today. In an official letter to the President of the United Nations Security Council, Ambassador Asim Iftikhar Ahmad, Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet accused Thai forces of launching attacks on several Cambodian positions, including areas around the Ta Mon Thom and Ta Krabi temples, as well as Mumbai in the provinces of Priyavahir and Odamanche on early Thursday morning. He also noted that the Thai actions took place while Cambodia was actively pursuing legal and diplomatic avenues to resolve the border dispute peacefully. Thailand, on the other hand, accused Cambodia of violating its sovereignty by planting landmines within Thai territory and launching rocket attacks on civilian residential areas. In an official statement, Thailand's Ministry of Foreign Affairs urged Cambodia to cease all military actions and take responsibility for the incidents. It also warned that defensive measures would be intensified should Cambodia continue its attacks and breaches of international law. On Thursday evening, the Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has reached out to Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet and Thailand's acting Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai to express Malaysia's concern over the escalating tensions along the two countries' border. Datuk Seri Anwar said that during the conversation, Malaysia, as the ASEAN chair for 2025, urged both leaders to immediately implement a ceasefire to prevent further conflict and to pave the way for peaceful dialogue and diplomatic resolution. Anwar welcomed the positive signals and willingness shown by both Bangkok and Phnom Penh in considering the appeal. He also reiterated Malaysia's readiness to assist and facilitate the process in the spirit of ASEAN solidarity and shared responsibility. The Premier firmly believes that ASEAN's strength lies in its solidarity and that peace must always be our collective and unwavering choice. In the wake of the ongoing conflict, Thailand announced today that more than 100,000 people have been evacuated from areas along its border with Cambodia. The Thai Ministry of Interior reported that a total of 100,672 residents from 4 border provinces have been relocated to shelter centres, while the Ministry of Public Health confirmed the death toll has risen to 14. Thailand has also closed all border checkpoints with Cambodia following clashes between the two nations, which have occurred in at least 6 locations. So far, Thai authorities have evacuated over 40,000 residents from 86 villages across the provinces of Surin, Sisaket and Ubon Ratchathani to temporary shelters.
ก็ดูแลแม่อยู่ค่ะอยู่ในบ้านค่ะได้ยินค่ะทีนี้ได้ยินเสียงปืนแบบดังป๊อกดังสนั่นเลยแล้วก็บึ้มติดต่อกันอุ้ยตายแล้วแม่รีบทีนี้ก็เลยบอกแม่ขึ้นรถรีบเลยก็พยุงแม่ขึ้นรถมาเลยไม่ได้อะไรมาเลยค่ะ
Both sides blame each other for starting a morning clash at a disputed area of the border, which quickly escalated from small arms fire to heavy shelling in at least 6 locations, 209 kilometers apart along a frontier where sovereignty has been disputed for more than a century. Meanwhile, the Malaysian embassy in Thailand has advised Malaysian citizens to avoid entering disputed areas along the Thailand-Cambodia border due to escalating military tensions between the two neighbouring countries. Malaysia's Chargé d'Affaires in Thailand, Bong Yi Jui, said that so far, no Malaysians have been reported injured or affected by the ongoing artillery clashes at 6 locations: Ta Mon Thom Temple, Ta Kwai Temple, Chong Bo, Priavihir, Chong Anma and Chong Chom. He added those areas lie within the border zone with checkpoints and there is a possibility that motorcyclists or caravan travellers could accidentally enter them. Bong stated there are 3 Malaysians registered as residing in the affected regions. After being contacted, all 3 confirmed they are safe and no requests for assistance have been received as of now. Bong urged Malaysians in the affected areas to register with the embassy so they can receive updates and assistance in case of emergencies. He added that the embassy will continue to monitor the situation closely and provide timely updates when necessary. French President Emmanuel Macron said on Thursday France will recognize a Palestinian state in September at the United Nations General Assembly, adding that he hoped it would help bring peace to the region. Macron, who announced the decision on X, published a letter sent to Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas confirming France's intention to become the first major Western power to recognize a Palestinian state. True to its historic commitment to a just and lasting peace in the Middle East, Macron said he had decided that France will recognize the state of Palestine. He added in the same post that he will make this solemn announcement at the United Nations General Assembly in September. France, home to Europe's largest Jewish and Muslim communities, will become the first major Western country to recognize a Palestinian state, potentially giving greater momentum to a movement so far dominated by smaller nations that are generally more critical of Israel. The decision is likely to spark anger in Tel Aviv and Washington. In a diplomatic cable in June, the United States said it opposed any steps that would unilaterally recognize a Palestinian state. Hamas hailed France's pledge on Thursday to recognize a state of Palestine as a positive step and urged all countries to do the same despite Israeli opposition. Hamas said in a statement they consider this a positive step in the right direction toward doing justice to our oppressed Palestinian people and supporting their legitimate right to self-determination. More than 30 former UK ambassadors and 20 former senior diplomats at the UN have also urged Prime Minister Keir Starmer to recognize a Palestinian state. In a statement, the diplomats called on Starmer to seize the moment to recognize Palestinian statehood unconditionally, warning that the risk of inaction have profound, historic and catastrophic implications. According to the Syrian transitional government, a powerful explosion rocked the northern countryside of Idlib on Thursday, killing 6 civilians and injuring at least 140 others. Footage captured from nearby farmland in the town of Mara Misrin shows thick plumes of smoke rising above the site as fires rage and residents rush to assist the injured. Ambulances can be seen arriving amid the chaos. Ministry of Emergency and Disaster Management in the Syrian Transitional Government, Rayyad Al-Saleh, confirmed that rescue operations were still underway. He noted that emergency teams were working at full capacity under dangerous and complex conditions. The Ministry of Health reported that 6 people had been confirmed dead with 140 others wounded in the incident. While local media attributed the blast to an ammunition depot, no official explanation had been issued by Syrian authorities at the time of publication. The situation remains under investigation. On another matter, convoys of vehicles carrying aid make their way to Suida at Bosra al-Sham town near Dira on Wednesday amid intensified violence in Suida province that has killed hundreds and posed a significant challenge for interim President Ahmed al-Shara. Ceasefire took hold on Sunday as Interior Ministry security forces deployed on Suida's outskirts. A Syrian government fact-finding committee said on Tuesday that 1,426 people had died in March in attacks on security forces and subsequent mass killings of Alawites, and concluded that commanders had not given orders for the revenge attacks. The violence, some of the worst to hit Syria since the downfall of President Bashar al-Assad last year, has posed a major test for interim President Ahmed al-Shara, deepening fault lines in a country fractured by 14 years of war. war. Shara blamed the violence on outlaw groups and promised to protect the rights of Druze. Israel said its goal was to protect the Druze and keep southern Syria demilitarized.
Tutup tingkap dan pintu untuk kekal dingin dan lebih jimat.
Up next, US regulators approve $8 billion Skydance Paramount merger. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum on Thursday said she hopes to reach an agreement to avoid U.S. tariffs before they take effect next week, but is prepared to speak with U.S. President Donald Trump if necessary. Trump has threatened to impose a 30% tariff on imports from Mexico starting on 1st August, claiming the United States' top trading partner had not done enough to stop drug cartels. At her Thursday morning press conference, President Sheinbaum spoke about her government's efforts to stave off new U.S. tariffs that are due to take effect next week.
Estamos haciendo todo para que no entren en vigor. Entonces, hay un equipo trabajando en Estados Unidos con la Secretaría de Comercio, del Tesoro, y hicimos pues una serie de propuestas que tienen que ver con el Plan México y también con disminuir el déficit comercial, que es una de las preocupaciones del presidente Trump.
United States President Donald Trump informed Sheinbaum that a tariff of 30% on Mexican products sent into the United States will begin effective August, separate from all sectoral tariffs, which currently apply to steel, aluminium, vehicles and auto parts. Trump noted that the United States imposed tariffs on Mexico earlier this year to deal with the fentanyl crisis. Sheinbaum told reporters that the quantity of fentanyl seized by U.S. authorities at the Mexico-U.S. border has declined 50% since she took office last October. India's Trade Minister Piyush Goyal on Thursday said the newly signed free trade agreement with the United Kingdom would protect its domestic sensitive sectors. Britain and India signed the agreement during a visit by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, sealing a deal to cut tariffs on goods from textiles to whiskey and cars and allow more market access for businesses.
The United Kingdom has opened more than 99% of the traded value of exports from India in this FTA, so that all our textiles, our footwear and leather products, our pharmaceuticals, our toys, our furniture, processed foods, all of them will now have access to the UK market. It will provide huge opportunities for our farmers, for our women entrepreneurs, for the textile sector, for MSME sector, for the auto component sector, aircraft part manufacturers, the engineering industry, the medicine, generic medicine, pharmaceutical industry.
He added India's sensitive sectors such as dairy, poultry, rice and others will now be protected. Under the trade agreement, for example, tariffs on Scotch whisky will drop to 75% from 150% immediately and slide to 40% over the next decade. On cars, India will cut duties to 10% within 5 years from current levels of up to 110% under a quota system that will be gradually liberalized. U.S. regulators on Thursday approved an $8 billion deal for Skydance to acquire Paramount Global after receiving assurances the merged company will follow Trump administration guidelines against programs promoting diversity, equity and inclusion. According to Federal Communications Commission Chairman Brendan Carr, the clearance came with written commitments by Skydance to ensure the new company's news and entertainment programming will embody a diversity of viewpoints across the political and ideological spectrum. Clearance of the acquisition follows about a week after the CBS network, a Paramount unit, said the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, a staple of late-night US television, will end in 2026. The comedian had blasted Paramount's $16 million settlement of a lawsuit brought by President Donald Trump as a big fat bribe to win approval of the merger with Skydance. Trump had sued Paramount for $20 billion last year, alleging that CBS News' 60 Minutes news program deceptively edited an interview with his 2024 election rival Kamala Harris in her favor. CBS in a statement said the cancellation was purely a financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night and was not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount. Colbert said on Thursday the cancellation was not just the end of his show, but the end of the decades-old Late Show franchise, which has been broadcast continuously on CBS since 1993 and was previously hosted by David Letterman.
3 British nationals who faced the death penalty in Bali for allegedly smuggling nearly a kilogram of cocaine have been spared. Couple Lisa Allen Stalker and Jonathan Christopher Collier, both 39, and Phineas Ambrose Float, 31, were stopped at Bali's International Airport in February with an alleged 17 packages of cocaine.
Under Indonesia's strict drug laws, the trio could have faced the death penalty after being accused of violating Article 131 of Indonesian narcotic law. Indonesia has previously handed out severe punishments for drug smuggling, though it was upheld a temporary halt on the death sentence since 2017. Due to good behaviour, presiding judge Heriati said he would reduce the trio's sentence as they had admitted their offences and behaved politely.
Karena dia sebenarnya kan dia tidak tahu apa isinya itu. Harusnya dari awal itu dibebasin dia gitu. Tapi ya udah kita jalanin semua dengan aturan yang ada di Indonesia ya. Jadi karena dia sudah dewasa, dianggap dia cakap secara hukum, dia juga harus mengerti gitu. Tapi terima kasih kepada Tuhan sudah menunjukkan jalan kebenaran sehingga apa yang menjadi penderitaan dia terjawab sudah oleh Ketua Majelis Hakim.
The 3 defendants, all from East Sussex, accepted the verdict and will not be filing an appeal. The time they have served since their arrest in February will count towards their sentence, meaning they are expected to be released early next year.
According to local authorities, Typhoon Komi made landfall in northern Philippines on Friday's morning, causing landslides and flooding and displacing thousands of people.
Footage from the Philippine Coast Guard showed people being evacuated in several provinces on Thursday due to flooding caused by an enhanced monsoon triggered by the encroaching Komi. According to a report by the State Weather Agency at 8 a.m. local time, the typhoon has weakened to a tropical storm as it continues to move through the mountainous northwestern region of Luzon Island and is expected to exit the landmass by midday. On average, about 20 tropical storms strike the Philippines each year, bringing heavy rain, strong winds and deadly landslides. The National Disaster Agency also said the typhoon upgraded from a tropical storm overnight follows days of monsoon rains that have killed at least 19 people and left another 11 missing across the archipelago since 18th July.
2 people have been killed in a huge blaze in Cyprus amid a brutal heat wave that has pushed temperatures to more than 44 degrees Celsius. Police said 2 charred bodies were found on Thursday in a burnt-out car that had been caught up in the Cyprus blaze, which began outside Limassol on Wednesday and fanned by strong winds rapidly engulfed a string of mountain villages north of the city.
The fires, described as the worst on the island in more than half a century, devastated large tracts of southern Cyprus, injuring dozens of people and displacing hundreds. An estimated 250 firefighters battled to contain blazes raging on multiple fronts. After appeals for help from the Nicosia government on Thursday, Greece, Egypt, Israel and the UK, which has an RAF base on the island, said they would be weighing in with air support and firefighters while the EU was sending in water-bombing planes. By midday, nearly 24 hours after it broke out, the infernos had consumed more than 40 square miles of territory, decimating prime agricultural land and dozens of homes in village communities outside Limassol on the Troodos Range. Cyprus is hit by wildfires almost every year during the island's hot, dry summers. A 2021 wildfire in Larnaca district killed 4 Egyptian farm workers.
Menggosok baju sekaligus boleh menjimatkan elektrik.
In sports, WWE legend Hulk Hogan dead at age 71. Stay with us. Hulk Hogan, one of America's best-known wrestling stars and loudly supported Donald Trump for president, has died at the age of 71. The star, born Terry Jane Bollea and known for his flowing blonde hair and iconic handlebar mustache, died at his home in Florida on Thursday.
WWE said in a statement, WWE is saddened to learn WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan has passed away. One of pop culture's most recognizable figures, Hogan helped WWE achieve global recognition in the 1980s. Police in Clearwater, Florida said authorities had responded to a medical call for a cardiac arrest at Hogan's residence on Thursday morning. He was taken to a hospital where he died at 11:17 a.m. local time. There will be an investigation, they said, but there is no suspicious activity surrounding his death. The bleached blonde mahogany tan behemoth became the face of professional wrestling in the 1980s, helping transform the mock combat from a seedy spectacle into family-friendly entertainment worth billions of dollars. Hogan parlayed his wrestling fame into a less successful career in Hollywood, starring in films like Rocky III and Santa with Muscles, but kept returning to the ring as long as his body would allow. In 2024, he appeared at the Republican National Convention to endorse the presidential bid of Trump, who in the 1980s had played host to Hulk headline WrestleManias.
Liverpool's latest signing, French striker Hugo Ekitike, joined his new teammates in Hong Kong on Thursday as they gear up for a pre-season friendly against AC Milan on Saturday. Fans cheered as Ekitike came out to greet his new teammates, including French compatriot Ibrahima Konate and defender Virgil van Dijk, following an open training session at Hong Kong's Kai Tak Stadium.
Liverpool had announced Ekitike's signing from Eintracht Frankfurt on Wednesday, with media reports saying the deal was worth £69 million plus add-ons. Ekitike is Liverpool's second most expensive recruit in the close season after the Premier League champions signed Germany midfielder Florian Wirtz, who can also play as winger or forward, in June for a club record £100 million plus add-ons. Former Paris Saint-Germain player Ekitike had a breakout campaign in 2024-25, scoring 15 Bundesliga goals in 33 appearances. He also struck 4 times as Frankfurt reached the quarter-finals of the Europa League. Liverpool are currently on a pre-season tour of Asia. They will begin their Premier League title defence at home against Bournemouth on 15th August.
Mexican club Pumas officially announced the signing of Costa Rican and former Real Madrid goalkeeper Keylor Navas at a news conference on Thursday in Mexico City. Navas expressed his excitement on joining the team, stating any player shouldn't have passed the opportunity.
Una vez que tuve la oportunidad de que hablé con Eduardo, yo creo que desde ahí supe el cariño, la ilusión, me transmitieron esas ganas de poder pertenecer a este club. Es un club grande en México y yo creo que cualquier jugador que se le presente esta oportunidad no la debería desaprovechar. Y bueno, gracias a Dios hoy es una realidad y estamos aquí muy contentos.
Basta.
The club's president, Dr. Luis Raul Gonzalez Perez, welcomed Navas warmly, highlighting him as an exceptional player and expressing pride in having him join the Mexican Soccer League. Keylor Navas first shot to fame due to his performances at the 2014 World Cup for his national side. The Costa Rican then went on to win 12 titles with Real Madrid and 10 with Paris Saint-Germain in his illustrious European club career before joining Argentine team Newell's Old Boys in January 2023. Navas made the move to Pumas in Mexico after lacking playing time for the Argentine club.
American Ben Shelton powered his way into the quarterfinals of the DC Open in Washington with a commanding 6-3, 6-2 victory over Canada's Gabriel Giallo on Thursday.
Shelton fired 16 aces compared to 5 for Giallo as he secured the win in just an hour and 2 minutes. The American converted 3 of 4 breakpoint opportunities he created while never facing one of his own. He now moves on to the quarterfinals where he will face the winner between Italy's Flavio Cobolli and fellow American Francis Tiafoe. Earlier, Russia's Daniil Medvedev secured his 8th quarter-final appearance of the season with a dominant 6-3, 6-2 triumph over Chinese qualifier Wu Yibing. Medvedev firing 11 aces and winning 93% of his first serve points. Now awaits his next opponent, French lucky loser Corentin Moutet. In other action, Brandon Nakashima of the United States advanced to his 20th ATP Tour quarter-final by overcoming British lefty Cameron Norrie in a tight 7-6, 6-3 win. Nakashima is set to face 7th seed Alex de Minaur in the quarters.
Game set a match. Nakashima by 2 sets to love, 7-6, 6-3.
Venus Williams, days after becoming the oldest player to win a WTA Tour singles match in 21 years, lost in the second round of the Mubadala City DC Open on Thursday in Washington. The 45-year-old star fell 6-2, 6-2 to 5th-seeded Magdalena Freya of Poland. Venus, a 7-time Grand Slam singles champion, was competing on tour this week for the first time since March 2024. She gave herself chances against Freya but lost all 5 of her breakpoint opportunities. The 7-time Grand Slam champion became the oldest player to win a tour-level singles match since 47-year-old Martina Navratilova defeated Catalina Castano at Wimbledon in 2004. Joining Freya in the quarterfinals is Canada's Leila Fernandez, who upset top-seeded Jessica Pegula of the United States 6-3, 1-6, 7-5. Both players are former US Open finalists. Fernandez had 5 aces to 9 double faults and broke on 3 of her 8 chances in the 2-hour 90-minute match. Fernandez will next face American Taylor Townsend in the quarterfinals on Friday. That's it from us this afternoon. In our top story, the United Nations Security Council is set to hold an emergency meeting regarding the clashes along the Thailand-Cambodia border. Do join us again tonight at 8:30 p.m. for more on TV1 and saluran Berita RTM. Alternatively, you can stream us online on RTM Click's website and mobile application. Till then, I'm Terima, Malaysia Madani, Rakyat Disantuni. Goodbye and thank you for watching.